Welcome to the Merlin Crypto Market Update located on the X app. I'm Abs, the host and senior engagement officer at Merlin, and today's episode features a replay from our Merlin X Spaces. Every other Tuesday at 8:30 p.m., you can catch us live on the X app at Get Merlin Crypto. We dive into captivating discussions about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology with our engaged audience, special guests, and the founders of Merlin. Please note, these spaces can sometimes experience technical hiccups and end suddenly. It's all part of the experience. Thanks for tuning into the Crypto Market Update, proudly brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We have our amazing host up here now. Abs, do you want to, it looks like you're up here as a speaker. Do you want to try to come back in as a co-host so then I can get you that full access?
Yes, I'll do that right now, Jeremy.
Perfect. And then I'm going to bring up our special guests as well. So give me one moment, or I'll wait for Abs to come in, and then we will get the special guests up here. And we are super, super excited. Again, my name is Jeremy. I will be your moderator this evening, and we will get started here once Abs gets back in, and I appreciate your patience. We are going to have an amazing, amazing spaces. Johnny Crypto should be joining us up in here in a few moments, one of the co-founders and the CEO of Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. And again, I'm super, super excited for our special guests that we have and all of the amazing things that they are doing in the blockchain and crypto space. We will wait for Abs here, and I see Abs. Let me see. Here we go. All right. See if you got that invite for co-host. All right, there we go. Abs, can you hear me?
Yes, I should be good now, Jeremy.
All right, if you're able to, if you want to get Schmeckles and Crypto Queen up here, then I will kick this off. And so welcome to tonight's X Spaces from Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. My name is Jeremy. I will be the moderator this evening as well as one of the co-hosts. I am the Chief Finance and Operations Officer for Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Age of Jeremy. Your host this evening, as always, is the amazing Abs, Merlin Senior Engagement Specialist, and also one of the handsome Miss Men I know, and he is the host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. The Good Morning Crypto Show comes to you a Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern from the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page. You can follow Abs everywhere on social media if you can find him, but he is mainly on X at 3TGM Crypto. That is at 3TGM Crypto. These spaces, again, are brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Not only can you use Merlin to track your coins across wallets and exchanges in one simple, secure web app, Merlin allows you to set up exit strategies for your coins so you know when it is time to sell. And we are super excited to bring two special guests tonight from the wave of innovation, XRP Gold Coast community, Crypto Queen. You can find her on X at Crypto Queen _505 or 505, and Schmeckles at Schmeckles _XRPL. The wave of innovation, you can follow them at wave _of_INNOV, and they are bringing you the XRP Gold Coast Conference, which takes place March 22nd and 24th, and I am sure we're going to hear a lot about that tonight as well. So again, make sure you follow Wave of Innovation on X at wave _of_INNOV for part of innovation. And also follow Merlin here on the X app. You can also follow Merlin on LinkedIn at Get Merlin Crypto, and on Instagram and Threads at Merlin _crypto, along with us on YouTube at Get Merlin Crypto. Make sure that you check out all the videos. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to customer support or see if a video exists on YouTube to help you get through the amazing app that is known as Merlin. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to our host, and I see Johnny Crypto CEOs in the house. So Abs, I'll kick it over to you, and I'll get that handsome gentleman, also known as the Italian Stallion, up here as well.
Awesome, Jeremy. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to talk to the Italian Stallion himself tonight. First of all, I'd love to get started with some introductions. Schmeckles, how are you feeling tonight? And I got to say, I love your username. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
You guys are nailing the pronunciation. I'm doing really well. It's actually morning here in Australia, so it'll be the same for Crypto Queen. Loving the energy. Let's go. Really looking forward to this space.
So you sound optimistic. If I can just stick to you before we go to Crypto Queen real quick, everybody's reacting to the markets pulling back over these last 12 hours. I'm not sure how long you've been in crypto, but for somebody who was here last cycle, to me, this seems totally normal. We've seen 20 to 30% pullbacks during a bull market every single time. But what's your reaction to what we're seeing right now, and how's your sentiment overall?
Well, it depends which side of me you're talking to. If you're talking to the reactive, immediate side, it's scary. It's worrying to see this. But if you're talking to the more logical side of me, this is just part of the game, right? There's ups, there's downs, there's ebbs, there's flows. What we've seen a lot of in the past is usually there's a bit of a retrace before a nice big bull run. So maybe that's what's happening.
That would be exciting. And Crypto Queen, I'm excited to hear your thoughts as well. How are you feeling, I guess, this morning in Australia? And thank you for being here.
Good morning, Abs. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I love the energy here too, as always. Often watch the Good Morning Crypto show. Yeah, I think, it's just a time to sit back and watch, or if you've got liquidity, when you see the pullback, invest in more. I haven't been through a full bull run, so this is super exciting, but I do expect that we will see pullbacks. And yeah, you just got to I'm excited for what's coming.
I'm
Thanks for
definitely
having me
excited
on
as
too.
well. And you know what's interesting, Crypto Queen, is that you said this is your first bull market. So I can remember in 2021 how euphoric things got. And that just tells me we're nowhere near the top because people are very nervous right now. When I talk to the average investor, they're not overly optimistic. They don't think Bitcoin's going to 200,000. A lot of people are waiting for that $50,000 pullback, or if they're an XRP investor, they're waiting for that 50-cent entry. What's really interesting is that some of these tokens like Solana, which I have never been an advocate for, has performed outstanding. It's done over a 10x in the last 6 months. And I do think that when those waves of liquidity hit some of our favorite projects, we're going to see huge momentum in XRP, XLM, Algorand, and so on. But I want to say thank you, Crypto Queen. Also, you said you watched Good Morning Crypto. I see my man Johnny's in the chat as well. We'll get him up here eventually. But I want to say thank you. Anybody else who watched the show, thank you so much. Crypto Queen, I'd love for you to talk about the wave of innovation right now, because that would be a great place to start the show. That's an event that's taking place in March. I believe it's the 26th. Am I correct on that, Crypto Queen? I'm trying to go off the top of my head.
No, it's the 22nd. So
Okay.
we've got 1 hour, 1 day, 12 hours and 16 minutes before the event starts. We've got a super lineup of people. We've got John Deaton, Bill Morgan, Dirk from Inspector, Crypto Erie, Scott Chamberlain, Matt Donovan, the Bearable Bull, Blockchain Backer, Siddharth Duran. We've got so many sponsors. We've got Lost Art, Futureverse, Root Network, Schmeckles, the list goes on. Ripple, Evernode, Expector, Zerpmon, Two Ticks, and BPM Wallet. We just have, I can't read them all out. I don't have time for all of them. But you can head over to the website. Their tickets are still available if you want to be in person. And we also have your virtual ticket, which is under 130 US dollars. So that is also available for people. There's a full program on the Saturday and the Sunday with keynote speakers. There's a builders series. There's a hackathon. There's so much happening. And then we have the Friday evening with Chip and Jeff, a poolside party. We have a Saturday night hydrate bar cocktail reception, and then we have an after party celebrating the success of the XRP Gold Coast 2024 event. So super packed, super excited for this weekend. Heading up there tomorrow, my time to be there. And I'm looking forward to meeting James from Schmeckles, the Wall Street Bull, Lukey Mo, who I can see who's in the audience. And anyone else that's in the audience that I can't see, I'm looking forward to meeting you.
And I think that's the best part about these events, Crypto Queen, is I can only talk from going to Las Vegas and then to New York for the party, but just getting to be around other people in the community, you only get so many opportunities to do that. And Schmeckle, I'm gonna go to Johnny Crypto and Gonzo, but I'd love for you to talk about the event as well. First of all, what speakers are you most excited about, and what's on your mind when it comes to the wave of innovation?
The wave of innovation is just amazing to see an Australian event. So there have been only a fair few events in Australia. And there are so many great projects, so many great people in the XRPL community from Australia, as well as the blockchain community as a whole. So that is the single most thing I'm looking forward to, is just celebrating the Aussies in this game that have been here, that have been building, that have been part of this community, and that are doing such sensational things for the XRPL specifically, because this is what it's all about this time around. But there are some great people that I'm looking forward to meeting, and Crypto Queen is most definitely one of them. Lukey Mo, I've seen interacting on a few of the posts lately, so Lukey Mo, look forward to meeting you too. OC Lost Art is down there, looking forward to meeting you too, brother. And reconnecting with a lot of the friendships that I've already established through previous XRPL events here in Australia. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. But of course, rubbing shoulders with people like John Deedon. We all love John Deedon, right? As well as seeing Crypto Eri, who's going to be there, rubbing shoulders with Dirk DS from Expector, as well as meeting lots of the Ripple people who are coming along and really getting to pick their brains.
And it's so exciting. The timing of the whole event happening during a bull run, there's so much optimism when you really zoom out and see what's happening overall in the crypto space right now. I think it's going to be a historic event, and this is going to be a historic year, not only for XRP, but for the crypto community overall. And Jeremy, I see you got your hand up, so we'll go to you, and then we'll go to Johnny and Gonzo.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Schmeckles or Crypto Queen. I want to get the conference up here for XRPGoldCoast2024.com. Now, I know it's in Australia, but is there also an ability for anybody around the world to purchase, say, a virtual ticket? And are they able to do that through the XRPGoldCoast2024.com website?
Yeah, I'll answer that for you. Absolutely, they can. So if they go through the website and you go to the tickets, there's a shop online and you can get a 2-day virtual pass. So what that offers you is the keynote speaker sessions, fireside chats, the builder series, what you can watch the playbacks, and you can win one of 25 John Deaton signed books, and you can win one of 3 Crypto Aries Patreon membership for a year. And yeah, it's under $130.
Yeah, absolutely. And in case anybody know, Merlin is actually going to be sponsoring part of that part of the conference, and so you also get to see an amazing demo by our beautiful Italian stallion Johnny Crypto.
Johnny,
and I will get that link up there for everybody to grab too. So make sure that you go there. And again, the best part about this is you don't have to be in Australia. If you are in Australia, make sure that you go to see all the amazing people, but you can also get that virtual ticket.
Johnny Crypto, first of all, how are you feeling tonight, my friend? I thought that would be a good place for an introduction. Floor is yours.
Good evening and morning to all the crypto maniacs out there today. Appreciate and love you guys for showing up every single day. Abs, I am super excited. My name is Johnny Crypto with a K, by the way, and I'm wishing you guys all a great day. And I'm super excited because this is the first ever Wave of Innovation XRP 2024 Gold Coast Conference that we are that will be happening, and we will be participating in it. We'll be joining. Merlin will be sponsoring it, as Jeremy said, from a virtual event perspective. And I am super excited to have both Schmeckles and Crypto Queen here joining us as our guests for it. So we are happy to be partnering there with you guys. And, you know, unfortunately, Merlin's not available in Australia this year, so I won't see you in person, but I am hoping to meet you guys both live next year. And hopefully we'll be able to announce that Merlin is available in Australia too.
Right, Johnny, those are the two most popular questions. First of all, we do not custody your crypto assets. But second of all, we're only in the US and Canada. And I also want to kick it to Gonzo for an introduction as well. Gonzo, how you feeling tonight? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Like anytime like Johnny's on, if I'm feeling a little bit tired, I've had a long day because I did London Crypto early in the morning, GMC, and then other stuff. So Johnny's always full of energy. So I just kind of tapped into a little bit of energy. But yeah, man, I'm doing really good. Just, you know, the market's having a healthy correction. So kind of waiting to see where we're going to bottom out so we can keep dollar cost averaging. But yeah, man, I've got no complaints. Truly blessed.
So, Johnny Crypto, really quick, earlier in the show, we talked about how the market pullback is totally normal during a bull run. But I want to know, have you hit the panic button yet? Or what's your sentiment before we get into some topics?
Oh, hell no. I've been through one of these already, man. I know what to expect. And the reality is, while everybody's panicking, you know what I'm doing? Abs, I just bought more BTC miners this morning. I love the red. The miners have pulled back on stocks significantly. So, you know, for me, I'm always looking for opportunities. I understand the space we're in. I understand how early we are People who were alive back in 1995, 97, you'll remember this was the same exact thing. We're going through a typical internet boom that we had back then. And a lot of people don't understand the space. Back then, when we were going through it, and I had the fortunate to be alive to have lived through it, I know the sentiment, you know how people think, and people don't believe something until they're, until the whole world kind of confirms for them that it's okay to believe it. So that's what's happening right now is most people still think crypto's a scam. They don't understand blockchains. It's too complicated. They don't get it. And so because of that, they get into this thing thinking they're going to get rich quick. And then when on a day like today or a week like this week, when things pull back, they get scared, they get out and they think it's a scam and they're gone. But for guys like us and folks like us who are involved in the space and we understand what we're holding on to, when you were holding on to Amazon, and Google back then, if you understood what you were holding on to, you wouldn't have sold it in pullbacks, right? You would have held on to it and say, hey, I know where this is going 10 years from now. That's what's happening here. So I don't get shaken out on these short-term dips. I could care less. I'm looking at it as I'm buying into the future rails of what's going to drive our world, our financial systems, everything. To be honest with you, tokenization is going to, transfer everything. So for me, abs, no, hell no, I'm not buying out. I'm actually looking for more opportunities to buy in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not buying a lot now. The time for buying was 2 years, the past 2 years. Well, we've been talking about buying the dip, DCAing during the bear market. That was the time to buy. These are fun times, abs, to some degree, seeing things kind of pre-pump here and getting a sense of what's moving. Because to me, what's moving now, I think is going to move even more post-halving. But that's just my 8 cents, and I could be wrong.
I want to kick it to Crypto Queen and Schmeckles as well. But one of the things that I've noticed about XRP and when it typically moves during a cycle is after Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. And even during 2021, when we had that huge pullback, Johnny, when we were sued, we still did it at 10 or 11x. I can't remember. I think it's a 10.5x, going from about 17.5 cents to $1.90 on the price chart. That was with the SEC suing us. So this time around, we've got no negative catalyst, possible regulation, ETFs, all these positive things sitting in front of us. But in the short term, everyone's focused on the price charts like Solana and Ethereum. And it's like we always say, comparison is the thief of joy. If you want to get scared during a bull run, go all in on one project, get pigeonholed. That's how you're going to get killed in this market. What I would say is this. At the end of every bull run, projects like XLM, Algorand, XRP, I would even throw VeChain, some of those types of projects in the same category. Those are the projects that move at the end of the bull run. It starts with Bitcoin, it starts with Ethereum, but some of those lower altcoins and then some of the more important payment tokens like XRP typically move at the end of the bull run. So for people to be frustrated right now with XRP's price action is actually totally normal, and I wouldn't be too alarmed when you zoom out and see what we're actually going through. So I think you make a bunch of great points, but I want to hear from Crypto Queen and Schmeckles as well. We're talking about where people's sentiment is and how they're feeling overall. But I'd like to hear, first of all, you said this is your first bull run. So do you feel optimistic or do you feel nervous? Because I think there's a lot of people out there who are nervous about where the market is right now. Let's go to Crypto Queen first.
Yeah, Abs, I don't feel nervous at all. I just, if it goes low, I just buy more. I'm not like, when we're, as you said, XRP will sort of run towards the end of the bull market and people will start FOMOing in at $1. So, we went down to 58 cents. Well, you just accumulate more, right? Because that when it hits $1, you're still in profit if you haven't had a chance to accumulate in the last 2 years. And everyone's situation is different, but there's a lot of new people coming into crypto now, so it's still a good opportunity for them to pick up some XRP at 60 cents or 58 cents or 59 cents and wait. In terms of assets pulling back like XLM, Algo, Vet, I just add to my bags as well. If I see something that's 30% down, no problem for me. I'm not nervous at all.
Schmeckles, how about you? What do you think about what we're going through right now? I think Johnny makes a pretty good point when he talked about how he uses the opportunities to buy things like miners on these pullbacks. But I'm still going into projects like Crypto Queen stated with the XLMs and the Algorands. When I'm just looking at the price charts, Quant Network is another one that gets me really excited. These are legit projects with real world utility, real partnerships, real teams running these blockchains. And we're yet to see the price action like Solana. So I really do think it's just a rotation of liquidity and kind of a matter of time. But what do you think, Schmeckles? What's your opinion?
Well, let's talk about Solana. That really it's one that really confuses me. Just the other day, we saw like $3.1 million of trading on a single token. I think it's called Tricky Labs, yeah, over 3 million. I'm not sure what the exact figure was. Like you're seeing volume like that, which is more than the whole XRPL, right? So that's what really intrigues me. I see, for me, I'm more of an altcoin type of person. So when I'm seeing the retracement of the entire market, I'm looking at, okay, that's going to help me onboard onto a altcoin potentially on the XRPL, for example, a very cheap entry. So that's where my mind goes with these things. I know you guys are looking at the bigger picture, and that's cool. That makes more sense in the big picture. But for these small, quick gains, I'm looking at these altcoins, looking at like XRP retracing now, loading up on XRP, and then seeing where I can pick up some altcoins on the XRPL. So that's me personally. But yeah, the market confuses me at times as well. Let's talk about XRP as an asset, for example. Yes, we have gone through the court case. We've come out the other side clean, and still that seems like there's a suppression of the value. If you guys have some behind the scenes information or something that you've discussed in other places, I would love to talk about it here, because there's a lot of people down from the Schmeckles community in the listeners that I'm sure would really appreciate you guys providing your insight and what you know about XRP as a standalone asset.
Crypto Queen, I'm going to go for you for some first comments, then we'll go to Gonzo.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to touch on other assets that are also on, the XRPEL. So, you've got Zahao as well, which has got the smart contract capability, and that's got an awesome entry point. And there's a Cosmic Zahao marketplace that is going to be launching on the 15th of April, and they're a sponsor at the Wave of Innovation as well. And you've also got Evernode, which is also a sponsor at Wave of Innovation, which is a great entry point as well. And I have a feeling, I don't have any proof of this, but I have a feeling that Evernode could be as big as Ethereum, if not bigger.
That's a mic drop moment right there, Crypto Queen. So I got to go to you for a follow-up question. What leads you to believe that? Because what we're seeing with Ethereum right now is that relationships control the market. And this is what me and Johnny always talk about. When real world utility enters the conversation, that's when projects like XLM and XRP are going to thrive. Even when we look at like the treasuries market, for example, Stellar has over 50% of the tokenized treasury market on their network. When we see bonds and governments begin to leverage blockchain technology, I think some of our favorites, like Schmeckles had mentioned earlier, it's more of a long-term game, but those are some of the ones that will benefit the most. So what leads you to believe that a project like that could take out Ethereum or be just as great someday?
I think what they've got and what they're working towards is and just even the gas fees and the utility of what they're going to be offering. I think Crypto Eerie actually interviewed them, so you might be able to find that on her feed. I think that's I don't know. I'm just really bullish on what they've got coming, and I'm excited to be meeting the crew at the Wave of Innovation and learn more about it myself.
That's awesome. And Gonzo, I want to talk about Solana because Schmeckles brought it up as well. We've got over 1 million daily active addresses on Solana right now. And here's what I think. It's the meme coin craze. Meme coins are driving people, these smaller projects built on top of Solana. And I think Schmeckles mentioned it with the XRPL as well, buying some of those lower cap tokens with more opportunity. Do you think that's what's driving some of these new daily active addresses? Or what's the meme coin craze going on with Solana right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I didn't coin this term. Scott Meltzer did. Humans are going to human, right? And unfortunately, we're in a very at this phase, very speculative market, a very narrative driven market. And you've seen the run. Proof is in the pudding. The run that Solana has made has been mostly on the use case of meme coins, right? Last cycle, what happened with the meme craze is that as Ethereum got congested, the gas fees went through the roof, and it tempered that kind of meme craziness, right? And you saw what happened this weekend. It was absolute insanity. People were just throwing money at smart contract addresses, right? People were coming out on X, giving an address and throwing Solana into it, to the point where, like, the projects that weren't just straight up rug pulls, the founders were telling people, please stop sending money, the pre-sale is over, right? I mean, you had that one project, I think Solana made about $100 million in 48 hours. You had that project Slurf, where that developer was, either incompetent or just made a mistake. You pick, right? Where he had $10 million that he raised on a pre-sale, and he used the wrong dev tool, and he burned the liquidity pool tokens, right? So you would think that would be enough to scare people off, right? And be like, this guy's incompetent, he doesn't know what he's doing. He burned the liquidity pool. So that means that anyone that bought in the pre-sale lost their token, because of the way the smart contract's done. He had to close the smart contract. There's no way to recover those tokens. But yet people were max bidding this project when it hit the market, right? Even though the dev was incompetent. So that just told you, like, where we're at, right? With the speculation. And I think what's different about this cycle than last cycle is that we have Solana, right? Whereas we're not going to have that thing with Ethereum where you have max gas fees. Solana is super cheap, and this run up has been totally fueled by the meme craze. Now, what you need to pay attention to and be careful of is, like, what we were talking about at the beginning about, like, shakeouts, right? Like, right now we've got about a 16% correction in Bitcoin from top to bottom. We're not done yet, right? Like, you really haven't shaken out the weak hand. And these people that poured into meme coins, they're down maybe, 20, 30, 40%, but they think that it's going to bounce back. Wait until Bitcoin continues to peel back and those memes get devastated, right? That's where you're going to get the shakeout. And I could see a correction in Solana because they're going to dump, right? But to me, that's just going to be an opportunity. If you didn't get into Solana when we were talking about it at $8, $10, $12, it'll be an opportunity then.
Johnny, I want to go to you for some comments because me and Gonzo had a funny conversation earlier today on GMC. We talked about how to create a meme coin and how easy it is. You can pay $30, create a Solana meme coin called Johnny Crypto, and then for some reason you can wake up one day, Johnny Crypto goes viral on Twitter, and now his meme coin's worth $10 million. Of course, these founders are going to dump on their tokens, or at least on their token holders. So to me, it's no surprise. We're going to see these cycles the same way we've always seen them before. The meme coin craze is kind of like the lottery machine. There's going to be a couple of really big winners, a couple of really great stories, but the majority of people who play the slots walk out of the casino with less money than they walked in with. I do want to hear some of your thoughts when it comes to it. Basically the meme coin process and where we are right now, but the fact that you can basically launch a meme coin on Solana for $30 and then someday wake up and have it be 100 million. That's kind of where the market is.
And just for the record, there is no Johnny Crypto meme coin. Please don't buy one, okay? But but Abs, you know what? You're all witnessing exactly one of the what I call the ugly characteristic traits of humanism, which is get rich quick. All right. So right now, the majority of the crypto industry, and I know because I talked to a lot of people, right? I talked to my friends, talked to different people, and a lot of people think two things of crypto. A, they think it's a scam, or B, they think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. And that's why the majority of people are here. Now, a few of us who understand the technology and we're investing into the technology, it's a different story. But a majority of people are here. And you and I know we do a lot of one-on-ones. We talk to a lot of people. And they literally tell me, I'm buying this so I can retire. I'm buying this because they are basically, what you're witnessing is the casinoization, and that's not even a word, of the crypto space. It's just like, why do you think casinos exist? Because people want to get rich quick, right? It doesn't work. We all know that the casino is going to win. The house is going to win. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop people from going there and throwing all their life savings away. They do it all the time. Why? Because they tell you, I don't want to work. I want to get rich quick. I want to get out of, I want to get out of the rat race. Well, that's what you're seeing happening with all these meme coins and a lot of these cryptos. People are coming into this space. They see the stories. They see the narratives. They see one or two stories. This I literally just saw one today. Guy turned $2,000 into $2 million. Okay, So now everybody sees that and they want to be that guy. And as you said, that's only going to be one or two people. The majority of people are going to lose, but it doesn't matter. That's the narrative that's around it. And that's what's driving all the excitement right now. And that's driving all the volume on Solana. And that's why Solana's up right now. And as Gonzo said, rightfully so, in the first bull run, Ethereum had the advantage of being the king on the block. And there was really nobody out there to compete with it yet. Cardano wasn't ready. Solana was really a mess, kept crapping out. And so we all got stuck having to buy stuff on like Ethereum. And we all know those famous 50, 100, 200 shit. I even paid $300 in gas fees for stupid NFTs from time, right? So Ethereum's in trouble now because it has a competitor this time around that's ready to go and eat some of its lunch. And that's what you're going to see Solana doing, I think, in a couple of different areas. That's why I am super, super bullish on Solana, not for the meme coin part of it, but because the real utility of this thing is it really can be a smart contract-based solution at a much, 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 much lower cost than Ethereum. And I think that if I was Ethereum, I'd be worried. Now, don't get me wrong, Ethereum's entrenched in everywhere, and it's going to take a lot to unseat them. But what my point is, Ethereum kind of had a nice big bull run the last time. This will probably be the Solana. Solana will be the talk of the town in this next bull run, if I had to guess.
Really quick, Johnny, because this is what I was thinking too. How many people in this market do you think who are buying Ethereum versus buying Solana are actually using it for smart contracts versus just buying it for price appreciation? Because I think what you're saying is valid, but that's not what really matters right now. Like, even when we're looking at projects like Ethereum that are now they're saying they're not going to approve the ETF this May. That's the new narrative that started to arise this morning. The Bloomberg guy, James Schaefer, just broke that. Looking like the May 23rd Vanguard Ethereum ETF is going to be denied. I haven't read too much about it, but it's just like right now, this market, it's illogical. It's driven on narratives. It's not driven on utility or real world value. It's all about the narrative behind each project. And like you said, right now, Solana's got the best narrative compared to Ethereum. But does that matter? How many people are really using these projects versus just buying it for price appreciation? That's the question I have for you. Johnny Crypto?
I
Hello,
would say
sir.
90 to
Johnny, I'm
95.
sorry I muted you. It sounded like you were in the middle of literally a Galaga game. Not that you were playing it, but you were literally inside of it. So I didn't know what was happening. So
How
my
about now?
apologies, friend.
Do I sound
Yeah,
good now?
you're good now. You're good now.
I would say probably 90 to 95% of the people are there for speculation. There's probably only 5% that that are there for real utility. And what have I told you anyway, right? I this whole world thinks we're nowhere near utility. Sorry, we're not. We are in such an early phase. We are in a heavy stage of speculation stages. We have very early utility. You've got some, obviously, Solana's here and this utility, start of utility, yes. But a lot of people don't understand there's a difference between the start of utility and being at the end of the S curve in utility, or even at the start of the upswing on the S curve. And I wish we had the chart because it'd be a lot easier to explain it. But my point to you is, let's just use Amazon as an example. Started in 97, price was at $1, went up to $125, and then by 2001 it was down to back $1. Okay, that was all speculation. They had a little bit too. They were running, but they weren't nowhere near what they are today. But then over the years, past 15, 20 years, as they were continuing to build full-blown utility and turn Amazon into what it is today, we saw price appreciation go from $1 all the way up to $3,300, right? That is exactly the same thing that's going to happen with some of these blockchains. It's going to go through, right now, we're in the speculation stage. Whatever we're using these blockchains for today probably won't be what they will be 5 years from now. Look at Amazon. That's our bookstore. They sell books today? Okay, yeah, but everything else, the books is the last thing they sell right now, right? It's not even what it started out to be. We don't even know what these blockchains and these technologies we have today are going to be. We have no clue. Anybody tells you, they're lying. None of us know. We think we know. We also thought Amazon was going to be a bookstore. Guess what? It wasn't. Turned out to be something completely different. So that's the way to think about these things, is think about the possibilities and where these things can grow and evolve. What do they solve? What real world problems do they solve? What technological solutions? How do they help make things cheaper, better, faster, because companies are always looking to lower their bottom line costs, and they're going to be looking for technologies that do that. Those are the ones you want to be looking at. Those are the places that's going to drive this thing going forward, Abs. And so that's how I look at it, is we are not anywhere near utility in the sense of, where this thing is up, like we are today with Amazon. We're nowhere near that. We're 10 to 15 years away. But we're starting to see the beginning of utility, but none of us know. We don't know which horses are going to win these races. And that's why I tell everybody, make sure you have a bunch of horses in this race, because, well, like I said, we don't know who's going to win or lose.
Absolutely. Let's go to Schmeckles. I saw you had your hand up.
Yeah, just really interested, Johnny. So you said 95% of people now are probably speculating on these tokens and what they're investing in, and it's less about the utility. So what causes that to shift? Is it the commercial world coming in, or what in your mind makes that shift? And you're saying it's 10 to 15 years away. So what causes that change?
Schmeckles, that's a great question. I love it. By the way, Schmeckles is awesome. I invited Dazzling, and Dazzling couldn't make it. Schmeckles was like, you know what? I sound like Dazzling. I'll come. And you know what? You weren't kidding. You do sound like Dazzling. So that was great. Thanks for coming, by the way, Schmeckles. Great question. So I think you kind of touched a little bit on it. Some of the things to bring these things to fruition is really going to be adoption by the industry. So a couple things. One, we're going to need some regulation, because you need industry adoption of these things. And the industry adoption typically can't happen until you have regulation, because a lot of these companies may be afraid to adopt a technology that may be on the fringe or in the targets of the SEC. So for that reason, there's going to kind of be maybe some regulation we need. However, it is kind of abnormal. Typically, you don't need regulation in technology, but we will, I think, in this one, because of the uncertainty around it. So regulation will help. Then industry adoption is going to be really the key. And you kind of already start to saw a little bit of that with Bitcoin. Look at what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was something that, when you talk to most people, it was just a scam. All the big boys are on TV talking about it being a scam. But once we got the ETF approval, now all of a sudden, my friends and family are saying, hey, Johnny, how do I get a little? Now they want to know how to get Bitcoin, because CNN, and they're seeing it on TV, is telling them it's okay to buy Bitcoin now because it's official, right? It has regulatory backing behind it. It's being touted by the big boys on TV, and now everybody's starting to get that fear of missing out. And we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet, by the way. There's going to be a ton of that more coming when all the financial agents start calling all their clients and saying, hey, you need to get into this Bitcoin. That hasn't happened. But those are the kinds of things that I think, to answer your question, need to happen to really start moving this thing into real world utility, and not just sitting here and buying. Let's face it. What are people using Solana for right now? Meme coins. That's the talk of the town. Now, don't get me wrong. This is an NFT marketplace. They have the biggest NFT marketplace out there in gaming. There'll be some playing to that. But yeah, right now, the whole thing is being driven by a freaking meme coin craze right now. And to me, that is not sustainable. But I believe the things we just talked about, adoption, regulatory approval, and then the blessing, maybe these things, some of these being turned into financial instruments, that can also be another thing that's going to help drive more into the world of utility. I hope does that answer your question, or does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. You're a legend, Johnny.
Thanks, Schmeckles. Appreciate you being here, brother.
And Johnny, I just want to ask one more thing, because let's go to Gonzo and Schmeckles and Crypto Queen as well, because one of the things I find to be very interesting is what Gonzo said. I tried to do a Uniswap transaction the other day, $35 to transact $120. What are we doing here, guys? This does not feel like blockchain. This does not feel like the new age. Gonzo, I'm going to start with you, and I'm obviously being a little bit lighthearted and joking, but Johnny makes a great point. The reason these meme coins are pumping right now, it's because we don't have those $35 charges, and people are able to get in, purchase their meme coins, and not get charged, half a leg in the process. I just want to hear some of your thoughts, and then we'll continue.
Yeah, we're still we just got the EIP 4844, which is that Duncan upgrade that gave the layer twos cheap transaction fees. I think the biggest winner of that was Base. A lot of people don't talk about that, but Coinbase, when they wiped the floor with the SEC, what they're doing with their layer two Base, transaction fees on Base are basically free. They're cheaper than Solana. right? And so, and you think about the user base that Coinbase has, where you can buy Ethereum, and while you're still paying some gas fees, it's very easy to onboard from the exchange right onto their base layer 2, and then use that ecosystem and transact for free. So, that's one thing. It just, the other thing I'll talk about is the use cases, right? Johnny was talking about use cases. The biggest two use cases that I've seen, and maybe I'm a little bit biased just because it's what I study every day, it's going to be crypto gaming, and then we've already seen a play into AI, right? Last cycle, there were a lot of promises. There were projects that ran on speculation, but it takes time for you to build these video games. But when you see the games that are dropping this year that are being built, I mean, they're AAA graphics. Like Gunzilla is the one that I'm thinking of that's going to be available on Xbox and I think the Play Store. So you're seeing a real transition of these games that are coming out that are built on blockchain. And this goes to the previous question of where's the tipping point. It won't be on a layer 1 or like Ethereum or Solana. It'll be when a dApp is built that goes that hits like some kind of point where everybody's using it, kind of like Chat GPT or like Facebook or Instagram, and people don't understand that they're using Web3 or they're using blockchain or that there's some kind of like token economy that backs it up, right? And so I think that's the leader right there. AI has just popped up. We know that Chat GPT was the fastest to get to like all the users, faster than anything we've ever seen. We know that AI is growing exponentially. It 10x's every 18 months, but the hardware 2x's every 18 months. So there's a need though. You have projects like Render that are doing rendering, right, for video games. You got other projects that are in that world. But the biggest thing with AI right now is language modeling, where you need those NVIDIA H100 chips. And there's a huge shortage of those chips. So you have all these projects that are coming out now that have access or have partnerships with NVIDIA, where NVIDIA is actually invested into these companies that are DeepIn projects, right? Like Ether, IO.net, GPU.net, where they actually already have revenue coming in, right? So it's not like venture capital that's holding up that token economy. There's actually like money that's coming in, but these guys see that there's a void, right? And so I don't know if that's going to end up being the number one use case for the like synergy of AI and blockchain. But for right now, it's what we have, and I think it's absolutely going to crush it this year, right? Because you have, whether it's that or any other DeepIn project, what you have is you have these real world businesses with real revenue, and they're basically adding blockchain and a token economy. It just depends on what it is, right? The biggest one that everyone knows about before we had the AI projects was helium, right? No one really knew anything about helium. It was kind of cheap cell phone coverage, but as soon as they got that partnership with, I think it was T-Mobile, it absolutely exploded, right? And it's going to be something like that, I believe. But so there are use cases that are starting to be adopted, but I think it'll come in the GameFi space or the AI space. You also have like payments and stable coins, but it's not really my cup of tea.
100% Gonzo. I'm still waiting on that GTA 6 launch. If that has cryptocurrencies, that could be another thing that's really exciting. But Jeremy, before I keep the conversation going on, I'm going to kick it over to you, and then we'll keep this rolling.
It's three things now, Abs. One, it'll probably have someone stealing things using cryptocurrency in some capacity on GTA 6, one, hands down. Two, into Gonzo's point, I just want to say that I think that everybody should just keep an eye on the gaming community. We've been involved in the gaming community pretty heavily as far as cryptocurrency goes over the last couple of years, especially with Gala. And one of the biggest things that I'd always push back on, even though I'm a big into Gala gaming and their nodes and in their cryptocurrency, is that one of the biggest things that I had is that until we can get it where it's on the bigger consoles and there are games that they're creating utilizing their technologies that go on the actual consoles and on mobile gaming, the more and more that we see that, the more in depth their economy is going to go, and then we can start to see real adoption from a gaming sense. And if that can take a hold, that will be a really big catalyst of cryptocurrencies over the next 5 or 10 years going what we like to see even more mainstream time or becoming a more mature marketplace. So I love that Gonzo researches that, one. So, and two, I would just say gaming is really, really important and something that everybody should keep an eye on in that space, because that will give us a lot of indication on how mature the market's coming in or playing as we get more mature. The third thing is something that Johnny had said, being involved as in the insurance industry and in the investment industry apart from cryptocurrencies, is that, and life insurance, I mean, specifically, one of the things that I think that Johnny hit a point on when he was talking earlier was that as more regulation comes in and more things happen where you can see like a really in-depth certification for people to understand cryptocurrencies, or if cryptocurrency pieces get added more into something like a Series 65 or a Series 6 test or something along those lines, or Series 7 test or along those lines, where that's becoming part of something that you have to learn as you're going to investing, because people are going to be offering these types of assets to people to build into their portfolios. That is one of the things that I'm really excited about to happen into the future, and one of the things that will have to take place for there to be even more regular adoption of this going into the future. I recently read an article, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was about where you could get a blockchain certificate for like $2.99 for like 10 hours of study. But as the industry grows and becomes more regulated, and FINRA probably gets more involved, and that becomes part of like an investor advisor or an RIA piece, then as soon as that gets implemented in that, we're going to see a lot more people to offer that to their clients as a part of diversifying their portfolio. And so I think when that happens, we will see a lot more adoption of cryptocurrency as well. So I wanted to add that too.
And Jeremy, even more specifically to XRP, I don't think we'll be able to have that really real world adoption until we see some form of regulation. And it starts with stablecoins in the USA, but I want to defer to our Australians as well. Crypto Queen, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, first of all, are you optimistic about crypto regulation in the USA as somebody who lives outside of the country, or does it just look like a whole debacle and a mess from your perspective, across the ocean, I guess?
You want the honest truth, Abs? I can't believe
Always.
they haven't already got it sorted. But I do think 2024 is the year for regulation in the US. Mind you, Australia has some regulations and they are regulating more and more, but, I think this is the year the UK's got it happening. I think, we'll sort of follow the UK with regulations. They have quite stringent regulations. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to actually seeing the regulations come in so that we can have the clarity for assets that have that value.
Agreed. And I feel like when regulation comes into effect in the US, that's when we get that 12th sector of the economy moment, like Kevin O'Leary always talks about. And I guess Jeremy was just breaking that down as well. We still don't have a process to get certified and become an expert in blockchain technologies in the USA. That's a really, really great point when I just start thinking about that. And Johnny Crypto, I'd love to get some of your thoughts and then we'll continue.
Regulation, I agree with Crypto Queen there that she's right. Regulation is really going to be, I think we do see in 2024 stablecoin regulation. I think it'll be very narrow, but I agree with her. I think we're going to get something around there because we're finally starting to see, money, because we know how the Senate works, right? Our Congress works money. It's all about the money and where the money's flowing into. And certainly we have both sides, if you will, with money coming in pro crypto and anti crypto. So I think it'll be a very narrow regulation to first understand what stablecoins are, and they'll start moving that way. And of course, there'll be some regulation about Bitcoin. I think that'll be. It's funny because if you listen to Janet Yellen, you guys all heard her the other day or a couple of weeks ago. She said, in front of Congress, we need stablecoin regulation and regulation on non-security crypto or blockchain. I don't remember, but basically she wouldn't say XRP, right? She was basically talking about Bitcoin, and so those guys at those levels, they're basically talking Bitcoin and stablecoin. I think that's where we're going to see some clearer regulation around it, and that's going to help. I think start to drive the industry. And in terms of the conversation, we guys were talking about earlier of the sectors, that Gonzo started to bring up. My 3 favorite sectors in this space, outside of the payment sector, obviously I have a big bag of XRP and XLM, but my 3 favorite sectors, and everybody who knows me knows this: gaming, number 1, love gaming. There's no doubt that I believe the younger generations, right, the Gen Zs and even whatever the ones are after them, alphas, whatever, they're all going to get exposed to crypto and blockchain through gaming. So I think gaming is going to be massive. And then, of course, AI, no question about it, number 2. And number 3, tokenization. I tell everyone when I do one-on-ones, if you're not invested in those 3, and I'm not a financial advisor, right? So I just tell them what I'm doing. I can't tell them what to do. But those 3 sectors are ones I tell them to look into, do some research, find some plays in there, and make sure, you may want to consider having some exposure, because I can't imagine this space not being driven forward by gaming, AI, and tokenization.
And everybody, I just want to remind everybody that our special guests are part of Wave of Innovation and the Gold Coast community. So make sure there is a link at the top for the XRP Gold Coast 2024 event. It is taking place in 2 days, 5 hours, and 33 minutes and 7 seconds as I have their website up. And the Gold Coast XRP conference, it's going to be the star attraction in 2024. It won't just be its beaches, theme parks, or the Star Casino. Joined them on the famous Gold Coast in Australia for an exceptional gathering of industry experts, innovators, investors, enthusiasts at the XRP Gold Coast Conference, and Schmeckles and Crypto Queen will be there as well. This premier event will provide a unique platform to explore the latest advancements, trends, and opportunities in the world of the XRPL ecosystem and blockchain technology, with a careful curated program featuring insightful keynote speakers such as John Deaton, Jay Combo, and Crypto Airy. They will be able to have those discussions. They'll have builder series workshops and networking opportunities in the cryptocurrency space. This event will promises to be a catalyst for innovation and market advancement. So make sure that you check that out. And there's also a virtual ticket available if you were not able to go to the beautiful beaches of Australia. That also being said, before I kick it back over to Abs, we want this time now, if you have a question for anybody or you want to be a part of the conversation, raise your hand and we'll bring you up as a speaker. So we'll go ahead and go back over to Abs. The floor is yours, sir.
Actually, if I can chime in there, Jeremy. So for everybody there, as Jeremy said, if you're sitting here listening, you're like, damn, I want to be a part of it, and you can't make it over there, as Jeremy said, there are virtual event tickets. Merlin is sponsoring that. And guys, get this, $129. It's $5 per speaker, less than a cup of Starbucks coffee. For less than a cup of Starbucks coffee, you get to listen to all these cool speakers in this event. So don't miss out. $129, you get access to both days on a virtual event. So even if you're not in Australia and you're here in the US, no excuses. There's no reason why you can't hop aboard and try it out. So please come along. And hey, who knows? You might even get to see a little demo of Merlin inside there. So come and check it out. Wave Innovation this weekend is going to be awesome.
Johnny Crypto, one more thing. I want to talk about John Deaton because he's going to be speaking at this event as well. And he's running against Elizabeth Warren in my home state of Massachusetts. So you're going to hear it loud and clear, guys. Vote John Deaton 2024 if you live in Massachusetts. That's what I'm telling my friends. That's what I'm telling my family. And I just wanted to give you a chance to talk about that as well. First of all, I want to give John Deaton a huge congratulations. The fact that he's running and competing against like a lifetime politician like Elizabeth Warren, really, really exciting, especially for someone like me who had to run away from Massachusetts into Florida after the C-19 crisis. But we'll get into that another time, guys. For now, we're going to talk about John Deaton and his run against Elizabeth Warren. Johnny, were you optimistic? And first of all, what's your whole reaction to the situation, I guess?
Well, first of all, I just want to say this. I don't care if you live in Massachusetts or you don't live in Massachusetts. Find a way to vote for John Deaton. Pull it Chicago. Pull the triple hat trick out. Jeremy knows what I'm talking about. Vote once, vote often. Come out and vote for John Deaton. And I ain't kidding. We need John Deaton. We need somebody like John Deaton in Congress, because you got a bunch of guys up there, and girls, women, whatever, who don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to blockchains and technology. They have no clue. They're just, they're just paid to say, to push this or that. John isn't going to be that kind of person. I don't think John's going to take money from a pro or anti-crypto side. John's going into crypto. Everybody already knows what his stance is. And I think the benefit of having somebody like him in Congress is when all these other congressmen, start bringing up this idea when they're sitting in a meeting, right? They're sitting in their little breakout sessions, and then all of a sudden somebody mentions crypto, right? Because they were paid to mention it, because one of their, sponsors or donors told them, hey, you're going to talk about this. John can speak then. He can speak up on those things. He can educate these committees so they can really, truly understand the benefits of the blockchain technology and what it means, and that it's not just some crypto scam, fake money thing. And so that, to me, is going to be massive if John can win. Now, it's a heavily blue state. I don't know the chances. I'm not going to predict it. I'm just going to vote and pray that everybody goes out and hopefully wants a change in your state, Abs. I say you fly your butt back up there and go put a vote in too. And hopefully we can get John Deaton in Congress. We need a guy like him carrying the flag for crypto.
I agree, Johnny. And it'd be pretty exciting to see somebody that we know before they get into politics. Like, I guess it makes it more authentic when you know the individual before they run for the candidacy. And you know what else is really interesting is how John Deaton's going to open up a ton of conversations when it comes to blockchain, but he's also going to get rid of anti-crypto politician Elizabeth Warren in the process.
It's
He's
a
going to get
double
rid
win.
of one of the most contrarian crypto components and bring in someone who's very pro-crypto.
Yeah, that's such a massive win. I mean, it's literally a massive win-win if he can knock her off and swap her out. Because like you just said, not only are you eliminating the top anti-crypto person, which don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter, because when she's gone, don't worry, the anti-crypto donor money will just go to the next person in line. So don't think when she's gone that it's going to end. No, that's not how it works. The anti-crypto money will go somewhere else. But the point being is having somebody who, like you said, truly authentic. John wasn't given any pro donor or crypto money right now to be speaking and talking about this. Shit, he did the whole freaking XRP thing pro bono. So, I mean, that just goes to show you the true authenticity and his love and passion for this space. And again, that's why that's the kind of guy you want there, because I don't think he can be bought and paid for. We know where John stands already on crypto, and I imagine he will just continue to push that narrative and educate those people there. It'll be a massive, massive win, and I hope your state does the right thing, Abs, and comes out and votes for John Dean.
Absolutely, guys. And I'll change the topic, but let's get into something a little bit different, Gonzo. When I was talking about tokenized treasuries, stocks, bonds, things of that nature, all of that is going to take place after crypto regulation, but there's really only a couple of blockchains that have real world utility and are ready to be implemented over these next couple of years. Render's a really interesting project that you were talking about, and that's AI. I'd love for you to talk about some of the projects that you find most interesting, maybe outside of our typical tokens.
Yeah, so probably in the DePIN narrative, which is again, because I think it's a real use case. So you've got decentralized cloud compute. So projects like AIOZ, I always say AOS, but it's AIOZ. It's a layer one blockchain, but it also fits in that narrative of AI, decentralized compute. Also starting up a partnership with NVIDIA to get access to those H100 chips. So I really like that one. Akash, which is on the Cosmos ecosystem, another decentralized kind of project that I love. We've already talked about Render, the new ones that are coming out. Let's see, what else comes to mind? Besides that, I like the crypto gaming studio ones, right? We already talked about Gala, Playable Games, Myria. I know Johnny likes to say Myra, right? But it's Myria. And just because Nakamoto Games has absolutely crushed it. If you look where Nakamoto Games, which has really gone into the whole mobile phone kind of crypto gaming space, but also kind of like a crypto gaming project, was like a few cents in the bear market, got up to $3, only a couple of dollars now. So not financial advice, don't FOMO in. But I think that's another kind of avenue of crypto gaming. Like we talk about the studios, we talk about the games, but this year we've seen a lot of pivot into like cell phone games, right? That have to do with crypto. I think that's why Nakamoto Games has done so well. I kind of really look. So for like the bigger parts of my portfolio, I look at like the big projects that have bigger market caps, right? Like the Solana's, AVAX of the world, obviously XRP, XLM, the ones that we already always talk about. So I'm just naming out projects. Not that I don't love all the ISO tokens, but we always talk about them. You wanted me to bring up other projects. But you can go further down the risk curve. Near has been very interesting to me lately. Near was a project, it's a layer one, right? But their founder actually, they started off as an AI project and then they pivoted into being a layer one blockchain, right? It's non-EVM. Their founder was speaking at that big NVIDIA conference where Render's founder was also speaking, right? So there's some talk about maybe Near pivoting into kind of that whole AI realm. Now, look, everybody and their mother is going to put AI in their name. And so these projects run on pure speculation. So you really have to look at the projects that are actually doing something, right? Whether it's the decentralized cloud compute, one of these DIMPIN projects, or like I was talking about Near, which is like a layer one blockchain. But yeah, those are a few.
All right, thank you, Gonzo. And I have a question from the chat. Lukey Mo, you're more than welcome to raise your hand. I'm sorry if I missed it, but I know you have a question here. Love to get your thoughts on X-Punks moving to Sol, and will I need a new PFP? If anybody wants to answer that.
I'll jump in. I think it's a move of the current market, right? They're seeing all this money flowing into the Solana market, especially into meme coins, NFTs, things that are fun. So they're trying to benefit off the back of that. They're trying to ride that wave. I think it's an interesting move. I think it sort of turns your back on the blockchain that assisted you, launched you, and has fed you for so long on the XRPL, for example. But at the same time, it could be such a lucrative move for them. So I'm a little bit on the fence with the whole thing. It's not something that, for example, Schmeckles would do, but it may be something that we see a lot more projects on the XRPL start to do to look to where the money is, and that is Solana right now. But the question has to be, like, what is the long-term thoughts of a move like that? If the XRPL starts to pick up again, will they then go from Solana back to the XRPL, or what happens in the long term? I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence.
Yeah, absolutely, Schmeckles. I apologize for that. I got kicked from the space and had to reconnect, and I'm getting Abs back up here. Gonzo, do you have any insight in regards to that you maybe want to add, being involved in that space?
I mean, I would just say that, yeah, unfortunately, what it is, they're either chasing, and it happens with a lot of projects. The devs are going to build on these build projects, or they're chasing either, they have an application, they're either chasing users or they're chasing the money, right? They're chasing liquidity, right? And that's just like an unfortunate thing of the business. If you have a chain like Solana that might be easy to build on, which I don't think it is, like most smart contracts are in Solidity, right? Which is in Ethereum. Solana uses, I think, Rust, right, as a programming language. And so I think they're either chasing liquidity or they're chasing kind of developers. That's why the layer ones are really interesting too, because layer ones are base foundations for things to get built on. So we have more than just like Ethereum and then Solana, right? Ethereum does it scales on its layer twos. It's very fragmented or spaghetti like, whereas Solana is monolithic. It's one blockchain. Everything gets built on top of it. And then you have like these other things like Sui and Aptos that are the Facebook guys, right? They were the creators of Diem. And when the Congress shut them down, those guys left Facebook and they created a new programming language that's called Move. And so Sui is very interesting too. Aptos is kind of the same thing. So you have all these different like layer one blockchains that are kind of attacking the same problem in a different way. But like Johnny says, we don't know which one's going to play out at the end. Like last year was the year of like modular blockchains, where you had projects that came out and then basically are one piece of a blockchain and they offer that as a service. I'm talking about kind of like Celestia. Celestia offers data availability, which is where transactions happen, right? There are three sections of a blockchain. There's the consensus layer, the execution layer, and the data availability layer. The gas fees, why Ethereum has such high gas fees, is because of the data availability layer, right? It gets congested with transactions. So that's what Celestia does. It provides just data availability to different projects, right? And so that modular thesis that came out last year is going to be very interesting as blockchain evolves, as use cases evolve, like which one wins out? Is it Ethereum that can finally kind of fix its data availability layer and reduce the gas fees? Does Solana kind of like dethrone it or take some market share? My personal thought is that like Solana is going to be like the consumer market chain, and then like the institutional one could end up being something like Ethereum if they end up getting their shit together. But then you have these other ones, like the modular ones. Like we're so early, we just don't know how it's going to play out. I think you're going to have more than one, and it's going to be specific to like, are you gaming? Are you a government that deals in like medical records? ADA is very interesting with their midnight, like smart contracts. If you think about blockchains and smart contracts, they're out in the open for everyone to see, right? That's what an open ledger is. And so when you think about like a government, or let's say healthcare, right? You can't have people's medical records out in the open for everyone to see. So you need a part of the smart contract to be private. And so, Charles thought about this early on. And for the last 6 years, they've been building Midnight, which allows you to have a private smart contract so that you can confirm that, let's say a person is a Kaiser patient, but you can't actually see any of their medical records. So like I said, all these different layer ones, they all attack the same problem in a different way. And then we have to see which one's going to win out at the end. I think you're going to have multiple winners, right? And we're not even talking about like XRPL and everything that brings, because it's very efficient. And, it's just unfortunate that, like, again, we're in this speculation phase of this market, and people just don't want to take the time. Like what Johnny was saying, it's the same kind of mentality about get rich quick. People don't want to take the time to study or to see what these things can actually do. They just want to speculate, and they just go with the advice of their neighbor who's buying a meme coin, and then they YOLO in because they think they're going to get rich. But the people that actually kind of, stay and kind of absorb, and they start to learn, you can see that they always gravitate to certain things, and the XRPL is certainly one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Gonzo. I appreciate that. And thank you, Schmeckles. All right, Abs, are you back up, or are you still not able to hear anybody?
I think I am working now. Can you hear
You
me?
are up. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Remember, this is a Spaces brought to you by Merlin in partnership with a Wave of Innovation. And if you don't know, Merlin is the smartest way to track your crypto. So make sure that if you don't have Merlin or you want to know more about it, head on over to merlincrypto.com. We have multiple exchanges and wallets that you can connect to Merlin. You can see all of your coins in one place, see your profits and losses on a daily basis. And one of the most important parts about Merlin is you are able to create exit strategies, so you know when to get out of the market so that you can either redeploy back into cryptocurrency or utilize it to build something else for yourself and your family, creating generational wealth for years to come. So make sure that you check out Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. And also, if you haven't bought your ticket to the Wave or XRP Gold Coast 2024, there is a link that you can hit, or you can head on over to XRP Gold Coast 2024, brought to you by Wave of Innovation. And you can follow them on X at wave_of_INNOV, Wave of Innovation. So make sure that you check that out. And we are keeping this spaces going for just a little bit longer to make sure, if you want to be a part of the conversation, come on up and ask your questions or share your thoughts. We would love to hear them. And I see that Schmeckles has his hand up, so I'm going to send it on over to you, sir.
Awesome. So it's a question about Merlin. And just before I go there, Gonzo, I love your mind, mate. I'm just hit you up with a follow from Schmeckles in my personal page. I'm going to be trying to listen to you speak a lot more because you are full of wisdom. But my question to Merlin, it's about the XRPL. So the XRPL is getting AMM, the automated market maker soon. So as that becomes adopted, I'm really interested to know how Merlin's going to be tracking that. So for example, I saw a few people worried in the last week or two about every trade of their investment into an AMM would be considered a taxable occurrence. Now, I don't think that's correct. I think they're sort of jumping at shadows, but I'm just wondering if Merlin has considered that, or if it's still too early days. It's probably still too early, but just a question.
It's a fair question. Right now, Merlin is designed more right now to more for tracking exiting. So it's more to help, show bring all your coins into one place. So right now, the biggest challenge we see out there is everybody's got their coins segmented because of the fact that when you go to buy them, they're all over the place, right? You can't buy them on one exchange. You got to go this exchange or that exchange to buy them. And then when you get them, you decide you want to move off the exchange, you put them on a wallet, and now you've complicated the matter even more. So Merlin will help you bring all that back together so you can see what your portfolio is worth, what it's doing, and the transactions that are happening. If you auto sync it to Merlin, you'll be able to see buys and sells and withdrawals and airdrops and and staking interest from exchanges. So from that perspective, that's what we can do. But from a tax perspective, what that's going to look like, that is on our roadmap to be able to do things like that. But we're like you said, it is definitely a little too early for us right now to be able to handle that kind of transaction at this point in time. But certainly something that we will be considering. I mean, if I showed you the roadmap, we have so many things we want to do for Merlin. But it's like anything, you have to be selective when you start out the gate. And we really set out to solve for the two biggest problems that people were having, which was seeing all their coins in one place and knowing when the hell to get out. And those are the two things that we solve for, is to be able to help them get an exit plan. But great, thank you for the questions, Michaels. It is certainly something we are thinking about long term.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, no worries. And, guys, the floor is open. We'd love to hear from any of you out there who's listening. If you have a comment or a question, you don't have to have a question. It could just be a comment. Come on up, raise your hand. Jeremy will bring you up. Rabs will bring you up. And you can chat with us. We'd love to hear from you because we talk all the time. But I'd like to hear what's on your guys' minds and what you guys are thinking about the space as a whole as well. So if anybody's out there and is thinking, they're on the fence, like, I might do it. You know what? Don't be shy. Come on up. We want to hear from you.
Also, too, these are all recorded as well, and then we release them as a podcast on our YouTube page and also wherever you get your podcast. So you will be a part of that as well, coming up to speak. And as you can tell, we love having conversations from underwater. I think Johnny decided to go swimming mid-conversation. I don't know what was happening, friend, but it sounded like you were underwater or in a fishbowl. But that being said, my good friend Abs brought up Aussie, I believe. So Aussie, I see you have your hand up. I'm sorry, I don't see your entire name there, but the floor is yours, sir, to ask your question or share your thoughts.
Beautiful. Thanks very much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your name, but yeah, thanks for having me up. And a couple of things. I'm looking forward to going to XRP Gold Coast this weekend. Very much looking forward to it. There's a few people down there that I can see that are going to be there. So really looking forward to meeting some people for the first time and some people again, like Queen. And, finding out as well a bit more about Merlin. Coach JV, I can actually see him down there. I don't know if he's going to make my day and come up or not, but it would be an absolute honour to chat to him quickly. I'm a bit of a fan of his. But I do know what sort of Merlin does in that, it sort of sets those levels for you to exit the market rather than, you'd be a millionaire 1 minute and then it all crash down again and you'd be left with nothing. So that's certainly on my mind. I think that, going to this event is going to provide a load of good ideas for me then to come back and sit down and then just get sort of super organised. It's like with your day job, running a family and everything else. It's just like you've got little frayed parts of the rope all over the place. And I really feel like I need to sort of tidy that rope up and get things a bit, more organised. So,
I think Aussie, I think you might have got disconnected, Aussie. I'll wait to see if you get back connected. But Johnny, do you have anything that you want to add to that, to add about the benefits of having Merlin? Maybe talking about maybe some of the people that we know that are in Australia. They have found, some of them actually have found a way to use Merlin. I won't go too deep into that. I'll let you decide if you want to ask some of that or answer some of that. But what are some of your thoughts on that? And what is your realistic expectation of when we'll be able to have Merlin available in Australia?
Like I always say, Jeremy, if there's a will, there's a way. You are right. People have figured out a hack and have figured out how to use Merlin in Australia. And, kudos kudos to them. And, you know, we did our best to stop it. But if you figured it out, great. And if you get to use it, just remember it isn't going to show up in Australian dollars. It's only going to show up in US dollars. But I want to answer Aussie's question, because he brought up a great question, or I want to comment, is what the thing that makes the thing that's great, the benefit about Merlin is when you use Merlin, it's going to force you to create, you know, you're going to want to get in there and create an exit plan. And that forces you to think about an exit plan. Most people, the biggest problem, hopefully I'm not sounding like I'm in a fishbowl anymore. Most people,
No,
majority
you
of
are
people,
totally fishing it up, sir. I don't know what's happening, but we
Yeah,
can
it sounds like
definitely
you're
understand
in a
you. So
fishbowl.
continue.
am I still in the fishbowl?
No, you're better now. You go ahead, sir.
Okay. So, so the advantage here is that it forces you to think about an exit plan. That's half the battle, because most people, I think as Oscar was about to go into saying, is, you know, if you're not thinking about an exit plan, you're gonna do what we all did. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you I didn't. I did it too in 2021. And Abs, we talk about this all the time. He did it too. We watched our portfolio go all the way up, and it went up pretty good. And then, like idiots, we watched it come all the way back down, and we didn't take it.
Hey! Don't put me in the idiot category. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Johnny.
All right, fair enough. But you know, like knuckleheads, we both watched it come all the way down, and we definitely didn't take out enough profits like we should have in the space, because we were greedy. I'm not gonna lie, we were greedy, and we kept thinking there was another leg coming in the bull run, and we were waiting for that second leg up, and it never came, and we got torched. And so, because we didn't have a real good exit plan, we really weren't thinking about, you know, really thoughtful exit plans. An exit plan doesn't mean sell all your money, get out, and go away forever. No. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, think of your bags and separate that bag into a portion that you're going to sell and a portion that you're going to hold on to. Okay? So that you have schmuck insurance. Don't be me. Like in 1997, I sold the whole entire lot of my Amazon stock, right? Which was a bad move. So
You would have been a billionaire right now.
I would have been, or at least a multi-millionaire if I wasn't a knucklehead and I sold, because I didn't have an exit plan, Jeremy. So this time around, I will have an exit plan. If I had sold 60% of my Amazon and held on to 40%, I'd be living pretty good. So the reality is that is something I'm going to do this go around, and I encourage everybody to think about what percentage of your bags you want to sell, because we know how the markets work. I challenge anybody in this room or anybody ever, show me one market that just goes up forever, other than Bernie. What was Bernie? Who was Bernie's last name? Can I think of the guy that was?
Jeremy, I'm
He
getting
went
a lot of
deeper
Darth Vader
underwater.
on
He
my
went
end.
even deeper underwater than he was before. All right, Johnny, I'm going to kick it over to Gonzo. Gonzo, you have your hand up. Do you want to add to some of that? Because I'm not sure if what's going on with Johnny. I'll double check on him here in a second.
Yeah, you know, it's this market, it's not about how much you make, it's how much you can keep, right? And that's why the exit plan is, like what Johnny was saying, is so important. And it really does get you start thinking about how you're going to exit this market. And you really shouldn't be getting in if you don't have a plan to get out. And there's so many different exit strategies. Like I've used Merlin to swing trade before, right? I've been in and out of Solana, and I've used the alerts for Merlin to get me in and out, right? Usually, like when we're doing exit strategies, we talk about like fib levels. Lately, I've been crunching numbers on a different strategy that I call scraping, where every 100% move that the token makes, I take out 20%. And Merlin forces me, I haven't set it up yet because I'm still crunching the numbers, but that in theory, that's the way it's going to work. And you can do anything. You could do like every 100% move, do 10%. And then as the market goes parabolic, you can kind of change that and do more and more. But what I'm going to do, just my strategies, every 100% move, I take out 20%. Another 100% move, another 20%. And that's going to force me to take money out. Am I going to absolutely catch the top? No. But I've crunched the numbers, and I'll still have some tokens that are going to be left over in the position. So if it does go parabolic, I'll still have some tokens that are in the market, and I can pull even bigger chunks if I need to. But you know, you're not going to always time the top, and you're not always going to time the bottom. But if you continue to pull profits consistently, you're going to average out, and you're going to be looking pretty good.
Yep, and you're not going to feel horrible. Guys, can you hear me now, or do I sound like I'm
No,
You
you sound
sound
perfect, Johnny.
magnificent.
Okay, fantastic. You know, as Gonzo was saying, so what you're gonna feel so good. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk you through your emotions. Ready? I forgot who asked the question. I think it was Austin. You're gonna feel horrible when Merlin sends you your first sell alert, because the market's going to be pumping, it's going to be going up, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to sell, it's too early. Then you're going to feel probably even more horrible when you get the second sell alert. You're like, oh man, I'm selling again, too early. And then when it comes crashing down on the backside 3 months later, and you've taken profits, you're like, holy cow, thank God I did that. You're going to feel fantastic. I'm going to tell you why, because that's exactly what happened to me with Mana and Cardano in the first two bull runs. And by the way, I know Gonzo has to hop off, but Gonzo, I want to say thank you for being a part of it. Gonzo always bringing the intelligence. I love when Gonzo's here. Super smart. And Gonzo, thank you for being part of our family, the Merlin family and 3T family. You are awesome, man. But just to continue on, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, you're going to feel horrible when you're selling on the way up, and you're going to feel fantastic when the markets crash, you know, when the bull runs over and everything's pulling down. And you're like, whew, thank God I sold. Trust me, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's why most people lose their money, because it's too hard to sell when it's going up, because you keep thinking it's going to go up. And that's when the rug gets pulled from out from under you. Well,
Absolutely. Thank you, Johnny. And again, real quick, if you have not got your ticket for Wave of Innovation, you still have time, or for XRP Gold Coast 2024 from Wave of Innovation, you still have time. Go to xrpgoldcoast2024.com. You'll be able to see Schmeckles and Crypto Queen there, along with a slew, or a plethora, I guess, of other amazing creators and influencers and thought leaders in the cryptocurrency space. Back to you, Abs.
Yeah, and I want to make a great point, which is a lot of times when we're looking at the market, we think it ends in fear. We think we're going to be able to time the top, and we think we're going to be able to kind of estimate, oh, I'll take profit at 200,000. Oh, this market's going to peak at a certain price point. What I've realized, having gone through this a couple of times, is that every single bull market ends in euphoria. When the rest of the market thinks we're going to keep going up, we start to turn that corner and we reach the other side of the mountain, and it happens so quickly you aren't able to execute. Exchanges go down. You know, there's just a lot that goes into it. So I'm in the same camp as Johnny, where I had to create an exit plan, and a lot of times it's frustrating saying like, well, am I really going to sell this amount at that price? But when you start to do the math and you take the realized profit, that's how people become successful in this market. The history shows us 90% of the money that comes into this market leaves on the backside. If you have an altcoin and it goes from $1 to $10, most likely during the next bear market, it's coming all the way back down to about $2. So do with that information what you will, but this is why we created the exit strategies, to lock in profit on the way up, because we know eventually the prices will come collapsing back down. The evidence says that. So I'm not sure if we have any other topics for tonight, but Jeremy, I'm going to kick it back to you and let me know what the plan is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to kick it over to Crypto Queen for any last thoughts or any other words of wisdom in regards to
Abs, I'm just going to
the
jump in here.
XRPL.
And Johnny and Abs, thank you for having me up on the show. I actually have to go. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here with you. And yeah, I look forward to meeting you in the future. I am looking at coming to the States by mid this year, so hopefully we can meet in person.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Thank you, Crypto
Queen. I would love that. Please look us up if you come here. Absolutely, let's get together. That would be fantastic. Oh, sorry.
No, Johnny, I don't know if you heard when she first jumped on the spaces, Crypto Queens actually watches Good Morning Crypto. So thank you again for watching the show and shouting us out, Crypto Queens. We appreciate every person who tunes in. That's literally the reason we do the show. So thank you so much. And Johnny, I didn't know if you have any additional comments, and maybe we can go to Schmeckles.
Yeah, let's go to Schmeckles and see if he's got any other comments, questions, or wants to wrap up and talk, give a final plug for the Wave of Innovation as we wrap this bad boy up.
My big comment to you, Johnny, is if you're afraid that Australians are seeing prices in USD, do not be, because we generally trade with USD anyway. And I think it's the same for most people around the world. It's funny, we sort of touched on earlier what the thoughts of an Aussie are about the American, I guess the legalization or definition of crypto. And it's almost like Australians do look to America as the big brother or as the father figure in a sense, and we do follow you guys a lot. So we are always locked in and watching what's going on there and sort of cringing at times, which I'm sure that you guys are cringing as well. But we're very much locked into the American world, and especially the USD. From me, I will be around at Wave of Innovation wearing a big t-shirt with my name on it. So make sure you come up to me and say g'day if you're there. I do have a few goodies that I'll be handing out as well. So you might get lucky and grab one of those. I'm just very, very appreciative of you guys having me up here. So my name's James Ray. XRP is my personal page on Twitter. Give me a follow and say g'day whenever you like, or follow us here on Schmeckles. So thank you so much, guys.
That's awesome, Schmeckles. Thank you so much for being part of it. And thank you for that tidbit there. I didn't know that. I mean, I know obviously there is U.S. trade there. I didn't realize it was the bulk of it. That's interesting, because and that probably explains we get a ton of people from Australia saying, when can we use Merlin? When's it coming? And now that actually makes all sense. So I can tell you Australia is on our roadmap. It is at the highest priority, top of our roadmap when we do get to adding other countries. So hopefully that's good news. I just don't have a time on when we're going to do that. But I wanted to thank you so much for being part of it, Schmeckles. Thanks for hopping up and chatting with us today. And unfortunately, I won't see you at this event, but hopefully I'll get to see you in the next one. Because if I see the shirt, I'd go up to you. But guys, as you heard him say, if you see him, go up to him and say, good day. Good day? Did I get that right? Good day? Is that how you say it?
No,
Make sure you go up to him.
make sure you make fun of him for that, Schmeckles.
No, I won't.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You're an honorary Aussie now, Johnny.
I love the Australian accents. You guys I love it. I wish I could do it. You guys got great accents.
Agreed, guys. And I want to say thank you to Schmeckles as well for joining us tonight. Thank you to Gonzo, Johnny Crypto, Crypto Queen, every single person who out there who was listening to this. And I want to remind you guys, check out Merlin, 30 days, absolutely free. We don't talk about it very often. That's a wink, wink, Johnny Crypto. But anybody who wants to get access to this app can check it out for free. Nothing to lose. Go in there. Give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from anybody who uses the application. But with that being said, Jeremy, I'm going to kick it over to you. And once again, thank you to everybody who participated tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abs. And again, the star attraction in 2024 won't just be Australia's beaches, theme parks, or the Star Casino. Join everyone of them at the famous Gold Coast in Australia for an exceptional gathering of industry experts, innovators, investors, and enthusiasts at the XRP Gold Coast Conference. This premier event will provide a unique platform to explore the latest advancements, trends, and opportunities in the world of XRPL's ecosystem and blockchain technology, because blockchain is the future. With a carefully curated program featuring insightful keynote speakers, panel discussions, builder series workshops, and networking opportunities in the cryptocurrency space, this event promises to be a catalyst for innovation and market advancement. You will have keynote speakers such as John Deaton, Jay Cambo, and Crypto Airy, along with a plethora of other speakers as well, from everyone from Scott Chamberlain to Matt Donovan. You have the Bearable Bull, blockchain backer, Stephen Chip, Jeff Rubinoff, Josh Kim, Sadif Jardon, Shen Mornicom, Jerome Forey, and I'm probably messing up all of their names. So if they ever hear this, I do apologize. And again, you get to see the amazing Schmeckles. Make sure that you follow him here on X, and you can also make sure to follow Crypto Queen. You can hang out with Crypto Queen there at XRP Gold Coast 2024. And again, our show, Merlin, the Crypto Market Update, is brought to you by Merlin, and your host is always the amazing Abs, Merlin Senior Engagement Specialist, and also the host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. The Good Morning Crypto Show comes to you Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern from the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page. You can follow Abs right here on X at 3TGM Crypto. Again, these spaces are brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Not only can you use Merlin to track your coins across wallets and exchanges in one simple, secure web app, but you can also create exit strategies so you know when it is time to sell. Again, our special guests were Schmeckles. You can find him on X at Schmeckles_XRPL, or you can just click on his icon right there and follow him right now. well. And also we had Crypto Queen. You can follow her on X at Crypto Queen _505 or 505. And again, my name is Jeremy. I am your moderator this evening. I apologize that I haven't been here. They make me do all of their taxes because I'm the finance guy and I have been doing taxes nonstop, and that's why I haven't been here. But we are back, baby, for the Merlin Spaces for 2024. Also, make sure that you go on over to YouTube, type in Merlin Crypto or Get Merlin Crypto, and make sure that you follow our YouTube page where you can hear this. You can find this on where you will get all of your podcasts. It will be up in the next couple of days if you want to come back and listen to all of our amazing voices. And with that, I appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you next time or talk with you next time. Bye. And here's some music for Johnny Crypto to play us out.
Play that music, baby.
Oh, none of the music's coming through. I don't know what happened. I might have messed it all up. Hold on 1 second. It's coming.
Not that music.
Yeah, I don't know. This is all I could find.
It's all good. I feel like it's Christmas. Everybody, don't forget. See you all the way.
Thank you for tuning in to the Merlin Crypto Market Update located on the X app. I'm Abs, your host and Senior Engagement Officer at Merlin, and we hope you enjoyed this episode from our Merlin X Spaces. Remember, you can catch us live every other Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the X app at Get Merlin Crypto. If you want to take your crypto tracking to the next level, don't miss out on our free 30-day trial at merlincrypto.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.